Okay.
Do you ever do any voice acting with like actors like Vic Mangina?
Did you say Vic Mangina?
Mignana!
Well, Vic Mangina, right?
Next time you see him, please say that. No, please call him that.
Did you do that on purpose, or did you?
Sometimes I forget how you say it.
Mignana!
I love that you said mangina, though. Like, of all the ways to mess up someone's name. Like, wow, mangina. That's incredible.
I don't think he included that one when he did the thing. I don't even think he included that one when he was doing it with little Karibo.
Well, let's see, Mr. Mangina. I mean, I've done stuff that we've both been in the same thing together. Well, what's hilarious and kind of lame is that I had him sing something for School Rumble. Are any School Rumble fans here? Do you guys know that song, the Space Train of Love or whatever? Yeah, there was one time whenever, because Chris Sabat does it whenever it's the ending, but I had Vic do it whenever it was within the episode. And he was hilarious and really funny, and he did it super lounge singery, and then they didn't put it in whenever they got to the final mix. They put my scratch track in, like just me randomly being like, here's the scratch track and here's how the song goes, like not even trying to sing well or anything, and they used that one, which really made me sad because it was really funny. Like Vic's was really funny, and then they just, I guess, didn't. It cost a lot of money to go back and remaster it and stuff, so it already got there, and so they just didn't fix it, which is lame. But whatever. Maybe one day it'll be a special feature. So if you ever see Mr. Mangina at a convention or something, you should ask him to sing the Space Train of Love song. He probably won't even remember it, to be honest, but he's actually, I've worked with him more often on, I've worked with him more on music stuff than I have on voice acting. And actually, in the film that I'm doing right now, he has a part in it as well. So I am working with him on a film level and not on a voice acting level, if that makes sense. Of course that makes sense. Why wouldn't that make sense? Yeah.
Have you seen the YouTube clip with him?
Him on helium.
Oh, him on helium? No, I haven't.
He does Ed rants on helium.
That sounds pretty hilarious, actually. I'll just try it out, or watch it. Yeah. Yes, questions? Yes.
What's it like working with Spike Spencer and Tiffany Grant?
I don't know, because I haven't really worked with them. I mean, I know that we're obviously all in Evangelion together, but I have usually been in to record first before them. Well, that's not true of Tiffany. I mean, I got to hear Tiffany, but whenever we record, we do it solo, like we're by ourselves. So, I mean, I haven't really gotten to work with them much. I honestly don't even know them that well. I've seen them at other conventions and stuff, and since I got the part of Rei, I know Spike has made more of an effort to be like buddy or whatever. I mean, they seem like cool people. I don't really know. I like them. I don't know.
Are there any plans for the other Negi OVAs to be dubbed, or can you not actually say? Because like because I remember there's about 7 everyone? Because there's an entire OVA devoted to Yue's character.
Really?
Yes.
Well, I hope we do that.
Magical Girl Yue.
Magical Girl Yue, that would be awesome. Yeah, that would be awesome. Yeah, I haven't heard anything about it. I hope so. Because now that I know I'm the lead in one of them.
Get me this part!
Did you say something about we got away with stuff in the opening ceremony that you got away with?
Oh, yeah. Wow, okay. In the States, if we were to say cunt in the opening ceremonies, we would get, like, banned from the convention. I mean, like really, like we can't say that, especially the F-bomb. Jesus, there were so many of them. It was insane. I mean, and I guess, is this a 16 and up convention?
Yeah.
That makes a little bit more sense. See, I didn't realize that. In the States, most conventions, any convention that I've been to is any age. So we'll have like, you know, little babies up through like people in their 60s, which also, little kids cosplaying as Chopper. So cute. But yeah, so it makes a little bit more sense now that I know that. I didn't realize that it was 16 and up. But yeah, once they, you know, right off the bat, just like rocking out the F-bombs, I was like, oh my God, they can say that here? That's exciting. But yeah, it makes more sense because they tried to warn me the night before, you know, like, oh yeah, I think you'll find our opening ceremonies are much more laid back than what you're used to in the States. And I was like, what do you mean? I mean, it's not like they're formal, like in the States. I don't really get, I did not understand what they meant. And then once I saw it, I was like, that's what they meant by laid back. Other questions?
Sorry, I'm losing my voice isn't the most recent, say, year of projecting anime, is there anything that you've been watching maybe slightly illegally that you necessarily
you know, I really don't watch it illegally, but I also haven't been keeping up with a lot of stuff that has come out because I've actually been doing a lot more on-camera work over in the States, so I've been focusing more on that. And also, whenever you work in anime and you have to watch so much anime for work purposes, actually watching anime is actually not as fun anymore. I mean, it's still fun and I still really like it, and I was a fan of anime before I ever voiced on it. But yeah, after you work in it for a while, it's still fun and it's still really fun. It's freaking awesome to work on. But as far as just watching it for fun, it's not really as exciting anymore. I'm just kidding. My life is awesome. What am I talking about? Yeah.
How did you start out doing voice acting?
Well, for those of you who've already heard this story, I had taken a tour of the studios whenever I was in high school, and then I remembered where they were when I graduated high school, and I went up and I asked how to audition, and from there I just went to one of the open calls, which are really hard to get now. Now there's like a 2-year waiting list, but at the time, because it was a long time ago, it was really quick. It was like a month later, and I went and auditioned. And from there I did lots of bit parts, and then started doing more featured parts and more leads and then directing and all that. And the rest is history.
How does voice acting compare to on-camera work and again to theatre? So I realise there must be a difference because when you're voice acting you're in a booth, obviously.
Yeah.
But I mean, in feeling, I mean, I imagine you get to play more off of other actors when you're actually acting.
It's really helpful to be able to play off of other actors, though I have to admit, it was hard to get back into that habit because I was only voice acting for several years, and then whenever I wanted to get back into, because I had done theater before that, and then when I started getting into doing film, all of a sudden I had another energy to play off of, and it was kind of, it's actually a bit jarring at first because when you're voice acting, you can have this whole idea of what the other person's going to sound like, and then you just do your own thing, and you can kind of be in your own world. But you can't do that whenever you have another person in the scene that's depending on you, you know, to give them your energy as well. Like, it has to be a lot more outward than inward. And it's each one of them has their own things that make them more fun than the other. Like, I think with voice acting, it's more fun than on camera or even staged, because like I said earlier, you get to play ridiculous characters. I mean, just things that are just over the top that you would never do, especially for film. But with film, and I haven't really done theater in a long time, so I feel like I can't really speak to that honestly anymore. But with film, it's a lot more, I think, like, you are forced to be a better actor because you can't with voice acting, there are times that you can kind of fake it and sound like you're very emotional when you're not. But in film, you know, the camera picks up everything, and you can see when someone's lying. You know what I mean? When they're not really feeling it. So you have to really honestly be living in the moment, and that's exhilarating whenever you actually do it, but it can be really difficult, especially if there's like a camera right there. I mean, there was the film that I'm working on right now, there was a point whenever it's a musical film, and I'm singing on the stage, and the director of photography actually rested his camera on my shoulder, and like in the middle of the scene, essentially, so that he could get, you know, a good shot of my mouth from the side. But, you know, I can't break character. Like, I can't be like, oh God, what are you doing on my shoulder? So I have to pretend like there is not just this random dude resting a camera on my shoulder while I'm supposed to be on stage alone. You know what I mean? So that can be really difficult as well. But yeah, I really love both, to be honest. The on-camera is more exciting because I'm just starting to do it, whereas the voice acting is more like, it's like an old shoe. Like, it's very comfortable and very easy for me, much easier for me than the on-camera stuff. But I recommend both.
As a director, are there any voice actors you prefer to work with, any you find easy to work with?
Yeah, Lucy Christian is incredible. Lucy Christian is my hero when it comes to voice acting, and honestly, working with people like Lucy Christian and Monica Rial and Colleen Clinkenbeard, watching them voice act and seeing how they do it, I think that that is what eventually made me a much better voice actor. Because I remember when I first started out, and they always got cast as everything, and I was just like, why did they always get cast? It's not fair. And then whenever I directed them, I was like, oh, because they're a bajillion times better than me. Because stuff that would have taken me, you know, 5, 6 takes, they do on the first take. I mean, they get it immediately. And they also are just really good at matching the mouth movements. And oftentimes, Colleen especially, well, well, all three of them, they will, whenever, because we'll preview it in Japanese first with the script next to it so they can know what the scene is about, and then we'll go back and record it. And oftentimes they'll notice in the preview that a line is going to be short or long, and they'll just rewrite it on the spot and just make it fit. And that's like a superpower. Like, that's really hard to do. And so they're probably my favorite. As far as dudes, Tatum is really great. I really do like directing Tatum a lot. Who else? You know who I don't like directing is Chris Sabat, because he will not work. He will come in, and every take that he gives me will just be a joke take. And I'm just like, that was so funny 20 times ago. Oh my God, will you just read it normal? Please. Because he's really good, and he knows that he can do it in one take, so he just likes to waste your time. Because he knows that he can.